Hi there, Facebook land and LinkedIn land and YouTube world. I'm Michelle.
I'm Jim.
We're from A Teak of Your Own. Welcome to another Motivational Monday.
Let's get motivated.
Woohoo! It's Memorial Day.
It is Memorial Day. You are correct.
And what do we do on Memorial Day?
Grill.
Yep. Anything else?
Eat.
Eat. Okay. Anything else?
Hang out with family, friends.
Some people do.
Some people do, yes.
Yeah. What are we supposed to do on Memorial Day?
Oh, well, you didn't ask that question. We're supposed to honor those who gave their lives for our freedom and to protect this country.
Very good. And
did I pass the quiz?
I think you did.
All right. Wasn't even multiple choice.
The cool part about where we live, I don't know if you noticed this. Here in southwestern Pennsylvania, it's like every single tiny municipality or even big municipalities has a memorial service today.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And that's cool because they're doing what you're supposed to do.
Yes.
On Memorial Day, which is remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for our freedoms.
Right.
Who you've heard the phrase, all gave some gave all. We're talking about the some who gave all. And the men and women who died so that we can have the cookouts and we can hang out with family and friends and we can go live on Facebook because they fought for our freedom of speech and all that, all of that. So I think it's wonderful that you have, like I said, when some place as small as Onverse, just down the road, can have a memorial at noon. I often wonder how many of the larger cities out there have a lot of people coming together for those types of memorials.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I know, like I said, here in the hinterlands, you've got lots of small communities that do it because they still remember. Mount Pleasant. For those of you who have never been to Mount Pleasant, I don't know what you're waiting for. I mean, it's just, the
garden spot of Pennsylvania.
Yes,
it's actually nice.
It is. It's people would say it was charming.
Yes.
And part of the charm is what is literally in the intersection of 31 and 819.
Yes, the Doughboy.
The Doughboy.
Yes.
The Doughboy was erected after the Great War as a memorial to those soldiers who died fighting for freedom.
Right. So he stands on top of a big, I'm assuming a marble pillar right in the middle of the main intersection in town.
That's had to be reinforced several times.
And it's always interesting to watch people negotiate it if they are not familiar with it. Every once in a while you're sitting in the intersection and you see somebody that just completely bypasses going around the Doughboy like they're supposed to, and they just come across.
You have to stay to the right.
Yes. And that's always a tense moment when somebody does that in the middle of traffic.
Yeah.
And it does happen. It does happen.
What is truly amazing to me are the truck drivers. When you have these 18-wheelers that are making left-hand turns.
Yes.
And they're trying to bend that truck
and go around
the Doughboy. It's just incredible.
Yeah, it is incredible. I understand why the Doughboy is there, but I also understand his presence does create traffic problems. So, but it's an interesting feature. It's something that's unique, at least in this area, to Mount Pleasant. So when you talk about the Doughboy, people know what you're talking about.
Oh, I like it. Somebody from LinkedIn saying thank you to all those who served.
Yes, very much so.
And that's what today is all about, is thanking those who served and died in service to our country.
It's Memorial Day for the ones who died, and it's Veterans Day for those of us who are still around.
Yes. Anyway, you've got the Doughboy, but then literally right next to the Doughboy
Yes, you got the wall.
You've got
Wall of
here
Honor.
in Mount Pleasant, you've got a park right there on the corner of 819 and 31 that has a memorial park with the names of all those who served and died from many wars,
Right.
not just from World War One. So you've got them. I want to say it goes back to the Revolution.
Does it go back to the Revolution?
I want to say it does.
I have no idea. I've been over there. I've just never stopped to look at it.
I know you've got the Civil War in there. You've got World War One, World War Two, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War. I don't know that anybody passed away in Afghanistan from here because it'd just be local people.
Yeah, I don't know.
However, you've had the wall is there, and there are memorial services, and one of them will be today.
Yeah,
and for good reason. I mean, today is the day that you remember those who passed away. Every year, Old Navy puts out these shirts. This is a vintage shirt. This one's from
2000.
2000, yes. And I think part of the reason why Old Navy puts them out is so that they can sell a boatload of shirts with their names on it.
Makes sense.
And they sell them between May and usually August. You just sell them they'll usually just sell these during the summer months. But that's when you have all these patriotic types of
for the most part
holidays.
Veterans Day, that's in November.
But you usually don't wear t-shirts for Veterans Day because usually you've got a coat on top of it.
Yeah, I guess. I suppose, yeah.
So for you've got Memorial Day, you've got Flag Day, which is June 14th.
4th of July.
And you got 4th of July, which is July 4th, Independence Day. Some people would say Labor Day.
No,
they would be wrong.
Don't say Labor Day. That is not a patriotic holiday.
However, I think it's nice that A, I can still wear this shirt, but B, that you have a way to remember what these holidays are all about.
Right.
One of the reasons why we honor those is because of the freedoms that we still have. And what I would strongly suggest to all of you out there is to not let these people have died in vain.
Yes, and that means standing up for our freedoms. Despite what some people say, there are absolutes when it comes to our freedoms. They are not pliable, as some people seem to think. And the reality is, freedom is only one generation away from being lost. I think it was Ronald Reagan who said that. And he's right. He's right. And at this moment, when at least I see people out there trying to erode those freedoms, trying to tell us that we don't actually have those freedoms, and basically trying to shift the foundation of our country right out from under our feet. And so we have to fight to preserve that. We have, that's why we have the traditions, is to, make sure that we understand that, we have this foundation in our society. And like I said, there is a movement afoot right now. And, and this may make some people mad that I'm talking about this, but that's, so be it. But there is a movement afoot to basically yank that foundation right out from under us, to make us think things that are not normal are normal, is to at least get us to accept that they're normal.
Well, and part of it is the rationale that things need to change over time.
But there's certain things that should not change.
You're correct.
And that includes those foundational freedoms.
And that's it. There's a reason why our country was founded on the freedoms that we have.
Right.
There's a reason why people still continue to come to our country,
Yes.
whether it's legally or illegally. The reason why they're coming here is for the opportunities.
Right.
And the reason why you have those opportunities are because of the freedoms
Right.
that we all enjoy and we all have.
Right.
And the basis of those freedoms can be found in our Constitution.
They can be found right there.
And when you have the Bill of Rights, those are rights that have been, for many people would say that these are God granted rights. In fact, I think that's actually in the Constitution.
That's what it says.
That this is what our country is going to value, and this is what we are founded on, and this is what we're going to live by.
And for the folks who want to change those rights, there's a mechanism for doing
There is.
it.
The Constitution has been changed over time.
Right, it has been changed over time.
You
There's been more,
You got to amend
amendments, yes,
the Constitution.
but there is a process, and
Yeah.
it is long and laborious and
For a reason.
difficult for a reason. And for the folks who want to get rid of some of those rights, go through the process.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep.
I dare you. I want you to. Go ahead. Do it. I'm serious.
And
I'm totally serious. There is a process for doing it. If you want to change it, start that process.
exactly.
And good luck to you.
Well, and that's the thing. You've got to get enough people to go along with you. You got to get enough states
Right.
to go along with you.
And it's pretty much not going to happen.
Yeah.
And there's a reason.
And so
Yeah.
that's what you have to consider.
Right. The other thing you have to remember about freedom is it comes with responsibility.
Yes.
And that's what people forget.
Yes.
It also means that sometimes those freedoms are going to be used in such a way that the rest of us are going to find it absolutely disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to understand, I go back to particularly the freedom of speech, because we have seen a lot of organizations, entities trying to shut down certain types of speech. No, that is the wrong answer.
And the reason why you have freedom of speech is so that you can hear all sides.
Exactly right.
Of an issue.
And you need to hear all sides of an issue. Unfortunately, there's so many people out there, they're getting one side of everything. And unfortunately, what that means is they are not using any sort of critical thinking in forming their views. They're essentially being spoon-fed. They're being, I hate to say it, but brainwashed.
Well, and the other thing is, it used to be important to debate issues, and debate has gone by the wayside.
Right. And it's because you got certain groups of people that they just want to shut it down. And it's because they don't want to face any ideas that violate the bubble that they live in, their bubble point of view. And so they don't have, it's the adult equivalent of sticking your fingers in your ears and going, la, 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 la. Seriously, you just shut down one side of the debate because you just don't want to hear it. And the reason is because their argument is so weak that they know they can't debate it. And that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because, at least from my perspective, I love the debate because then you can start to bring in the logic. And, hopefully through that process, show people where they might be misguided. Or flip side, if they make the case, then we can learn something. I can learn something.
And that's the whole point of debate is to learn.
Right.
And without the freedom of speech, you don't have that debate.
Right.
So that's part of the reason why. And you've got a lot of other. There's a reason why we have all these different freedoms.
Yes.
And the people who died fighting for our country, they were protecting those, and they were protecting other people.
Right. And when you look at those freedoms, they start out right at the top. Life.
Mhm.
Life.
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of
Yeah,
happiness.
but you start out with that first one, life.
Yeah,
That's pretty
without-
important. Without life, you've got nothing.
Yeah.
Liberty, that freedom to live your life in the way that you want. And, and I guess I'm very much a libertarian in that mindset, because I always say, I don't care what you do in the privacy of your own house, as long as, you're not bothering me about it.
Well, and the other thing is, you've got liberty also comes with choices.
It does come with choices.
And you have the opportunity to. One of the reasons why so many people come to this country is for opportunity. Like I said before, you have the opportunity for massive success, and you also have the opportunity for massive failure.
That is correct.
It all goes back to the choices that you make.
Right.
And one of the things that's happened over the past couple of decades is this erosion of responsibilities. And people are no longer being held responsible for the choices that they're making, whether they're good choices or bad choices.
Right. Well, that's because it's easier to blame somebody else for your poor choices and your lack of success.
So keep that in mind. Freedom means the freedom to choose not to be successful,
right.
The freedom
right.
to fail. And that's just as important as the freedom to succeed.
Right. And yet, these people who refuse to take responsibility for themselves, when they see things like what we were watching on Friday, that was the conference, the Ed Mylett conference.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And if you don't know who Ed Mylett is, go look him up. Just unbelievable.
He's a fun guy.
He is a fun guy.
I'll tell you, winning is more fun than fun is fun.
That's right. Unbelievable guy.
He just released a book.
The Power of One More.
Mm-hmm.
I am about halfway through it.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend it. Pick up a copy. It will hopefully move you to action.
Mm-hmm.
It should. If it doesn't, then you didn't really read it, or you didn't pay attention. But he had this conference, and we got to view it remotely because of buying a copy of the book. And we saw many different types of people on that stage. Got to see a few dudes too, though,
yeah.
which always makes me happy.
Andy Frisell, who wrote 75 Hard.
75 Hard.
Was on
Was
there.
that what it's 75 Hard?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was on there.
Whoa, he went off.
Yeah.
He might have been my favorite speaker. It's just because this was a man came out with an axe and just went to town.
Yeah, an axe to grind.
He did have an axe to grind, and he sure enough did grind it. And I agree with pretty much everything he said. Yeah. He just let loose, and it was fun.
But the beauty of our country is
you can do that.
You can do that.
And then we saw other people. We saw women on the stage. Maria Menounos. Great lady.
Mm-hmm. You don't like her laugh.
Her laugh drives me up a wall. I'm fine as long as she doesn't laugh.
Yeah. See, we were watching that 70s show last night, and Hyde was explaining to Eric how he could be attracted to
Jackie.
Yeah. And Eric's just like, she's just evil. How can you put up with that? And he's just like, well, just block out the sound of her voice. And as soon as you block out the sound of her voice, all of a sudden it shifts your way of thinking. And all of a sudden, and that's what Hyde would do.
Okay.
Is he wouldn't listen.
So for Maria, I just got to block out the sound of her laugh.
You just have to block out the sound of her
laugh. You might get used to it after a while. Who knows? And then the hip hop preacher.
Eric, no.
Yes, E.T. Kept calling him E.T.
Yeah.
Was it Eric Thomas? I forget. I gotta go look it up, but because I
not Eric Tochterman, because that's who I went to high school with.
Okay, no, I just remember that I think it said on a shirt, hip hop preacher.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to this guy, listening to his story. It's like, here's a guy who, he didn't blame from Detroit, and he didn't blame the system.
He was homeless at 16.
He was homeless at 16, and was contemplating committing suicide. And now he's out there. He's 51, and he's done great.
Multi-millionaire,
and out there delivering this positive message. and doing all these great things for other people. And the system didn't stop him. And he took responsibility for his life. He had help, and that's part of what his story is. But most of us do. That's usually we're going to have help, and that's what you need to do. When you've had success, is help other people.
And that's
don't go there alone. And that's what he's doing. He's doing it big time. But these are people from and there were other folks there as well, but people from many different backgrounds, and none of them using excuses that taxes are too high and inflation's too high and I can't get the government to pass this law and yada yada yada. Huh. They just ignore that stuff and carry on.
Yes.
So.
And so that's what to remember.
And that's part of our freedom. That's you have the freedom, and that's what makes this country unique, is that we still have that ability to go out and shape our own destiny, live our own lives, and to be as successful as we want to be.
And today's the day to remember why.
Yes. And these are the people that allowed that. Last night I was watching the TV series Band of Brothers. And when you realize what those guys went through to, defeat, Japan and Germany and Italy during the war, wow, just amazing.
And it's not just them. I mean,
it's
generations before them, generations after them. We have always to be vigilant. There will always be someone out there who wants to take your freedoms away from you.
Right. World War II, that's just the biggie, because that's the one where if those men if they would have succeeded, in this country, half of us would be speaking German and the other half would be speaking Japanese probably. So, and if they would have succeeded, it would have all been gone. Yeah. And they made no bones about what they wanted to do. It wasn't like World War I where they just got bogged down and nobody really knew what they were doing. World War II, you had a few men, two in particular, that had a definiteness of purpose.
Yes.
And then a third one in the Soviet Union that came along that also had a very definiteness of purpose. And that purpose was not going to be good for the rest of us.
So,
yeah. So the men who gave their lives, they helped to stop that.
Yes. So for them, we are thankful.
Yes, we are.
All right. So keep that in mind today. Be thankful for those who gave their lives so that you can have that cookout, so that you can go buy those bargains, so that you can get together freely with your family, and be thankful for them.
Yeah.
Next week, on Monday, we've got our upcoming webinar on Leadership Gold.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
You're going to get some gold nuggets. Not that
the others aren't good, but Leadership Gold's one I like in particular. So
you're going to get some gold nuggets from John Maxwell on leadership. So register for that. It will be Monday, June 6th at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Time. If you already have something scheduled, no worries. Register, and we will send you the recording. We always do that.
Yes.
Other than that, if you this busy week once again,
yes,
which is good. If you need to reach out to us, if you have any questions for us, if you'd like to be a guest on here, reach out. You can contact us on Facebook. You can contact us on LinkedIn. Go to our website, and our website is
AteagueOfYourOwn.com.
There you go. AteagueOfYourOwn.com. Feel free to send us an email, give us a call, leave us a message. We are here for you. So thank you for joining us. We will see you next week. And I think we need to start that book on managing yourself.
Oh, the Peter Drucker book.
The Peter Drucker book.
You want to do that one?
Yeah, we can do that.
That's a shorty.
It is. It's 55 pages.
Right. We like short books. Takes you an hour to read it, and you can say, I read a book.
I read a book.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. We will see you next week. Remember why you're honoring those on Memorial Day. Thanks, everybody. Bye.